Welcome to the first meeting of the Anderson Area Touchdown Club. This is the 44th year. We started back in 1981, and we've got an exciting year ahead of us. Okay, now for our welcome and announcements. So I want to call on our president, Chris Sullivan. Chris.
Thank y'all so much for coming today. I know everybody here's got a choice. Well, most of the group has a choice of where you can have lunch. Some of these guys over here did not have a choice, but I appreciate y'all making us a part of your day, part of your Friday. There's a lot of things going on Fridays, and we love having y'all here. Today has been a crazy day. I don't know, have any of y'all, I guess, show of hands, whatever, listened to WCCP on the way here? If anybody tuned in? So this is something we tried. We had no idea what to expect, but it kind of goes back. We had a board meeting, and you know, we've kind of lost a lot of our really truly local sports coverage. So when you open up the local sports paper, it's top 10 from the upstate. It's got Berea, it's got Man, it's got Boiling Springs and all that. And we've kind of lost the Anderson touch on that. So we're trying to figure out how do we promote our guys, our Anderson players, in a better way. And so it came up the fact of doing an on-site setup and getting WCCP on here and doing like a media day for these guys. You see, you know, the SEC, ACC, NFL does this stuff. But we opened it up to a truly open format where we got every coach and at least one player, sometimes more than one, got a chance to be interviewed on the radio today. And to me, I think it went really well. I hated adding something on to these coaches. This is week 0. Everybody's got a game, and these coaches were so good. Westside was here at 9 o'clock in the morning to be the first one on. They went back to class, and throughout the day, we got all 8 schools in and players in. So if y'all give a round of applause to WCCP for what they did today, I appreciate it. I'm kind of winging the first part of this thing. Today's a little different. We don't have a pick 'em contest. We don't have players of the week. So I've asked if Faxon, if you'll come this way. Faxon Childress is the one that Faxon and John Height run the 9 to 12 segment now. It just changed recently. But so impressed with this guy. In his interviews, he researched every player, had stats on them, looked at film on them, had all kind of stuff for the coaches, and really put time and effort. It wasn't just a cookie cutter, there we go, cookie cutter type of interview. It was deep, it was intense, it was specifics about these kids, and I appreciate that, and I know they appreciate that as well. I wanted to get to call Faxon on here for just a couple of minutes to kind of talk about his experience and kind of introduce himself as well. So Faxon, if you'll come up.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Faxon Childress, new host of the 9 to 12 show on WCCP, as Chris was kind of talking about. Faxon Sports from 9 to 12 every day with myself and John Height. I want to appreciate everybody that's come out here today, the Anderson Touchdown Club. A really unique opportunity that was able to be provided to us this week. And, you know, the coordination, Kevin's in here somewhere. We got to give a shout out to Kevin as well. He was absolutely integral in this process, getting everything coordinated with the coaches, getting everything coordinated with the players. Kevin, we appreciate you a lot over at the Roar, and you did great work this week as well. Wouldn't have been possible without you. Chris, somebody else that was just absolutely pivotal for us to be able to do this and was very helpful for us throughout the course of the week. So appreciate you big time as well, Chris. But for me, I really enjoyed this opportunity. I got to be the voice of high school football in the upstate on the Roar last year for the first time, and I'm not a local. I'm not a native of the state of South Carolina, even though my family grew up here. But I will say I was absolutely blown away last year and moving into this year at the passion, at just some of the rivalries, some of the history, and just how tradition-rich this area is in high school football. Very confident in saying that this is probably the most underrated state in the country when it comes to talent in high school football, and some diamonds in the rough here in the upstate of South Carolina for sure that aren't getting the shine that they deserve. So as a part of being the high school football voice this year, once again in the upstate, it's one of my personal goals to be able to showcase Anderson County as much as possible. You guys have got great schools, great programs, and really enjoyed getting to talk to everybody, visit with all of these coaches and student athletes here today, and really believe that this is a special place that we're going to continue to try and showcase over the course of the season.
All right, so now on to the food situation. This year, I do not have to cater anything. I don't have to carry food around the back of my truck. We have got with Sundays, who did a couple of our meals last year. They're directly across the street. Was y'all's meal today? I'm going to ask you just right up. How'd y'all like the food today? We good? Good. Thank y'all. So just so you know, I talked to Nancy yesterday. We only had about 65 to 70 RSVP. So we order 100 because we just don't want to be caught short. So we own the rest of that chicken in that little heater over there. So if y'all can find a way to take it with you or whatever, we'd hate for it to go to waste, but it's good stuff. If you ever go to Sundays on a Sunday, you will see how good it is because that place is lined out the door and it's packed. So I'm so glad we were able to work this out and being across the street from us as well. Please let us know if you're coming so we can plan on the meal, though. That really helps us so much. They've been great. We've had it in the past where restaurants wanted 3-4 days notice. They're good on a day's notice if we could just tell them. So Facebook, you got Nancy's information all over the place, text, call, whatever. But if y'all could do that, I would appreciate it. Wanted to mention also, let's see what else we got here. So CCP, I think we may actually make that an annual thing. We're going to do that more often. So I think this is a year kickoff deal. So just to make you aware of that. Dr. Estes is here with us. She's the AIT, the head here. She's allowed us to come over and ransack her campus for about 3 or 4 hours a day. So she allows CCP to park the van out there and kind of get some exposure. So thank you to you for all you do and allowing us to be in here. Give you coaches more time to talk. I know there's been changes in classifications and all kind of changes. And before I do that, though, I want to make sure everybody was here. I just saw. So since our last meeting, one of our teams has won a state championship. So I'd like to recognize Westside. If y'all would stand up, all my Westside folks over there, Coach Lane, Cutter, Sherrod, our AD, the principal. That is a significant accomplishment, and I think there's multiple teams, several teams in this room that could possibly do it this year. I will say that the board decided to give Westside players a coin. We had a coin created, kind of memorizing to recognize the season, and they invited us to their sports banquet, and we got to present those to them. And we're trying to make a big deal about this for our fans and our players and our coaches. So we are very proud of what Westside has done, and this year the excitement building around y'all. I don't know who y'all are playing tomorrow, but it looks ridiculous that playing a 6A school out of Georgia. I guess y'all wanted to do that, but we're excited. That's going to be a Saturday night game here. Also this year, something we've added to our program, we've had a sponsor come in and we're going to recognize Anderson University. I'm sure y'all are well aware. We've been having them here for years, but they have their inaugural season starting here in a couple weeks, and we want to be a part of that. I know we're focused on our young high school athletes, but this is rare. This is, your local college putting a football team on the field. And if y'all have not been out there and seen this place, it is ridiculous. Like, I don't know. Both end zones have massive colonial buildings at the end of it. There's turf field, beautiful stands. They have done it first class. I think their dedication is Saturday. The dedication is Saturday for this Saturday, tomorrow. But we're going to have a segment. We're going to actually talk about their player of the week. We're going to mention them to give them some publicity and everything. So y'all help us support them. I'm sure you will. But at this point, I'll go ahead and get started with the program. We're going to get it with our introduction of speakers. And our very first speaker, it's not in alphabetical order this year. So we'll start with the Wren coach, Coach Anthony Freight. Please come up. You're up.
Hey, guys. I'm Anthony Freight, head football coach at Wren High School. Just wanted to, first of all, extend a huge thank you for having this every year and, hosting us for the young men and coaches alike. I've really enjoyed getting to know a lot of you all in the room, a lot of you coaches I've gotten to have strong relationships with over the last year or so, and I really appreciate that. In terms of Wren football this year, we're super excited having a lot of our players coming back, one of which is Chris Johnson I brought with me here today, did the radio show. He's our right guard, senior leader. Building on a year ago, we were about 65% run, and we got 4 of the 5 offensive linemen from a year ago back. Running back and quarterback are back, so we're looking to build on that. Defensively, hopefully we can do a good job in terms of keeping people out of the end zone this year. We were okay last year, so we've got some good senior leadership over there now between Tyler Morgan, Noah Ramey, who'll be captain tonight, Pedro, our middle linebacker, and Cam Sanders, number 9, defensive end. So a lot of really good things are happening over there. We're definitely looking forward to it. Wish everybody the best of luck, and I hope everybody in here wins tonight, except for, sorry, Coach Norton. But good luck to everybody tonight.
Yeah, in case y'all haven't looked at the schedule at the bottom of the program, tonight is Palmetto at Wren. So So I hate it when our local teams have to play against each other, but that's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. And next, Coach Lane, our defending state champion from West Side.
Well, as always, I just want to say thanks for us being here, for inviting us here. But when I look out on things like this, I said this last year, this right here is special. I've been in the Woodruff area, I've been in the Burns area, I've been in the Clover area, in the upstate, and the touchdown clubs, they don't look like this, all right? It might look like one row, and I'm being serious. So you guys, we have something going on right here that thank these guys for putting it on, because they do a great job every year, and just thankful for that. We are, trying to repeat. That's what everybody said. When we got back from the state championship last year, they were like, Coach Lane, come out. We had about 600 people out there waiting on us. Hey, they want to hear you talk. And I just, oh my God. So I go out there, hey, throw my fist up. Hey, we're ready for it again next year. And I'm like, oh, we just got back 15 minutes ago. But that's the nature of the beast when you win. Talking about playing teams. I wasn't necessarily looking to play Creekside, but they want to play us. We're in a situation where we're playing a lot of teams from out of state. Just tough for us finding games. Thankful we had some guys in the room, man. Hannah and BHP, man, they ready to chop back at us right there, and so that was a blessing. We didn't have to play every team out of state. With Creekside, we got another one, Prince Avenue, state championship team. They won 3 out of 4 state championships out of Georgia. They were playing Weddington, North Carolina. They won the state championship last year. So, and throw BHP and Hannah in that mix, our first 5 games are going to be pretty tough. So, you do that to get ready for the last 5. So thankful for that. But here, what I got with me today, I got Cutter Woods, our quarterback. Glad he's coming back for one more year for me right there. Be a senior, heading to the University of South Carolina. Yeah, y'all can clap for that. Like a couple people there. A couple people. I know I'm in Tiger Town here. And I got Sherrod Richardson, is a dual threat guy, plays both sides of the ball. He's deciding between about 5 different schools that he wants to go to. We're blessed to be here, and like always, we want everybody here to be successful, and thanks for having us here today. Thank y'all.
I will say, kind of commenting on the players that are here, Jeff Gerber, who I think he's one that helped pack up the van to leave. He was our contact with WCCP, and he said that being inside the WCCP studios, you get kind of disassociated with what's going on with high school athletes. And he's like, I am so amazed. I've been here from 9 o'clock. Every one of these kids is respectful. They can carry on the conversation. They look you in the eye. And he's like, you get the connotation the kids these days are on their phone all the time, up to no good, all this stuff. These kids here today, have been amazing. They're very professional, and they're kind of wise beyond their years, but it has been recognized. The folks at CCP recognize that the folks y'all brought are absolutely amazing. So thank y'all for doing that. Go ahead over to our next coach, Powdersville, Coach Robert Muster.
So real quick, always, since we've been at school and I've been at Powdersville the entire time, I have always echoed what Coach Lane said, Coach Freight. Super impressed with this organization. It's pretty special. When I can come here and see the following it gets, not just from like a sea of orange, Clemson people, but I got my former head coach, Coach King, who I think the world of, sitting back there, and I think I say that every year, but the fact that he comes back to this still to this day, it tells you there's something special going on, and we certainly appreciate the support. A little bit about Powdersville High School. Last year was not up to our standards. Last year's in the rearview mirror. We're not going to, look back. We're going to learn from it. You talk about some sleepless nights when you lose 3 games by a combined 5 points. That'll have any coach going crazy. It'll cause the assistant coaches to go crazy, the players to go crazy. There were times I was flat out miserable last year. Man, it's a clean slate. And I've got one of my finest here with me today, Jashawn Knuckles. He's a 4-year starter for us. Once again, I've been at Powdersville the whole time. We've only had 2 kids. Eli Hudgens was the other one, our quarterback that graduated this past spring. But those are only 2 kids we've ever had in the history of our school to play varsity for 4 years. And we don't just yank them up and say, but you're coming up because you're coming up. We want you to be ready. You know, if you're a 9th or a 10th grader and you've got the option to play down on JV, get that experience, get some reps, good. But 4 years ago, he was clearly the best thing we could be putting at corner. And today, you know, tonight, he's going to be a two-way guy for us. Exceptional leadership on his part. Love the kid to death. He's not the only one. We've got 20-something seniors this year, and we're looking for big things. You know, we're learning from last year. And, man, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of talking about it, man. You know, week 0, we're going to Seneca tonight. And, I mean, it's time to get going. It's time to get going. Like everybody else, I wish you the best of luck throughout this season. I appreciate Westside scrimmaging us. I appreciate T.O. Hanna hosting us in the Jamboree this year. There's many of you that we play, rooting for all of you, except for when we play. And I'm not trying to be funny, y'all know, but I think, you know, you've got some of the best coaches in state in this room right now, too. And, man, I look up to them and admire them. So they do things the right way. Thank y'all so much.
And just to reiterate, for all you two-way players tonight, we've got fried chicken over here by the door. Take all you need. Get that protein going in you. The next up is going to be Pendleton coach Grayson Howell.
Good afternoon. I just want to echo, too, what some of the other guys have said. Just being here is really neat. This club is pretty special. Just like Brian, I've had the opportunity to be in different places across the state, the upstate, down in the Midlands and Sumter. Sumter did a pretty good job, my hometown, but you had to get up at 5:30 in the morning to be there at 6 o'clock. So this is much better than that for sure. But so this is year 4 for me as the head coach at Pendleton. Somehow survived an interim year at 1-9, and now here we are at year 4, which is twice as long as the first time I tried to be a head coach. So we're making progress, right? Doing something right, hopefully. But we're also excited. We had a good year last year for us, 9-3. We lost 15-0 Daniel. We lost a 13-1 BHP, and lost to Coach Muster and his boys down there. So it's a pretty good year, losing to really good programs, and I think that's a sign if you're winning those other games. It shows you're moving in the right direction. And just like many of you, and just like Robert talked about, just flipping the page. And for me, that was a little difficult. I've shared this with our team. When you have a year like that, when you've gone 1-9 and then 5-5, you have a tendency to want to just kind of revel in it and let it linger. And I did that, and I had a hard time turning the page after having a successful year and moving on to this one, because a lot of times you lament what it is that you're losing. You know, you think about losing a Luke Gray who threw for 53 touchdown passes and ran for 5 more, right? I mean, you're trying to figure out who's going to replace that production, or a Corey Jones who had 91 catches for 1,500 yards and 18 touchdowns or whatever it was. But eventually we got there, and we've turned a page to this group, and excited about this group. Probably the best thing I can say about the team that we have right now is they're just a group of workers. They show up every day, and I don't think we've had a bad day since May, which is really good. We've got great leadership with a group of 18 seniors that I'm excited about. 4 of those guys in that group he was talking about, Mr. Knuckles down here, 4 of those guys in that group for us have started for 4 years. 3 on defense and 1 on offense, and that's why we went 1-9 3 years ago. And they have progressed, and we have gotten better and better, and excited about that. I want to mention 3 of our seniors that are sitting back there. Jamari Johnson, and this will be his 2nd year starting at corner for us. Nash Cahaley, be his 2nd year starting at wide receiver for us. And then Kendall Turman is one of those 4-year senior starters who plays nose guard. He started off as a running back and got all big and strong, and so now he plays right over the ball. But we're excited about our program progression. We have 105 kids playing football at Pendleton High School right now. This is my 7th year there, and we haven't come close to that number. And I think it's because our community's energized about what's going on. They're excited about football in our community. I think we had kind of fallen into a little bit of a lull for a while, and so we're excited to see that happen there. Last year we played in a region championship game for the first time since 2019, and would love to be able to do that again this year. But we've got some guys in our region that have done a really good job, and we're going to have to be ready to do that and ready to compete every Friday night with the people that we play. So Again, we're really excited about 2024, excited about the young men that we get to coach every day. A lot of what we do emulates what a lot of these men in this room do as head coaches. I take ideas from everybody that in this room, and we try to take that and make it a part of what we do to make ourselves better. So like Robert said and some other guys have said, this county is extremely blessed to have the head coaches that they have here, not just because they're good football coaches, but because they're good men. There's not anybody out here that's a head coach that I don't feel like I can't pick up the phone and call them and ask them for advice or talk to them about something if I need to. And so I think that's pretty special. It's not like that in most places. So anyway, looking forward to 2024. Go Bulldogs.
One thing I wanted to update on them with Pendleton, they've actually been able to get themselves on radio this year. They've worked out a deal, and they're going to be on the Spirit app. You get just their Spirit 105.1. So you'll be able to hear the Pendleton games in their entirety on the radio and through the app now. So I love when the school's able to add that. People come to you and you're like, okay, for a couple $100 for this person, a couple $100 for this, we can do all your games. And when you do the math on this stuff, it's significant. So these schools have to raise a good bit of money to get that. And we're excited that Pendleton's going to be on the radio. I will say we're 4 down with 4 to go. I'm going to mention this, probably I may or should not, but on the personal side, being around here, I have gotten to know the whole county. Like I've gotten to know all the areas of the county and really appreciate it. So back in January, I met with John Wright Jr., who is our current county councilman, and he talked about how he was going to be stepping down from the council and that they would love if I would consider it. And so I did consider it. My wife gave me her blessing. She may be regretting that now because it's a lot of work, but I decided to run for Anderson County Council. So seat 1 is pretty much Clemson Boulevard, Hannah, Cobbs Glen, out through there. But somehow I went unopposed. I don't know how. First time out of the gates, I went unopposed. So you can't write somebody in against me. There's no Mickey Mouse coming out against me. So on the first time I'll be on the ballot is in November. But starting in January, I'll be sworn in to be on the Anderson County Council. So now that there's nobody running against me, my motto has changed to I promise to treat you like I never met you. And then it'll change in 2 years when the re-election comes up. But I am here to help you. I'm all about Anderson. I love this place. As y'all can tell, I think a lot of people here are passionate about Anderson as well. So if I can help you do anything, I don't care what district it is. If you need something other than a road paved, I'll be happy to help you. I think there's a lot of people looking for some road work to be done. It's on the ballot. You have the decision on there. But anyway, brief personal break there. So just want to make y'all aware of that. We'll start it back up now with Palmetto coach Ryan Norton.
I want to start with thank you, just like the other coaches did. I've had the privilege of coaching in this district county now for 7 years. I was under Coach Muster at Powdersville, which he was a fantastic role model for me. Looking at the coaches, I was also under Coach Lane when he was at Burns. So it was really a privilege for me to kind of see 2 coaches that I worked underneath directly, are back inside this county or have always been in this county. And it really is a testament to the head coaches that are here and the job that the county does in general of looking for individuals that want to lead student athletes. And want to be a good role model for student athletes. And that's what we're trying to do at Palmetto right now. Our number one goal is to control what we can control our attitude and control our effort. The uncontrollables, kind of like Coach Muster said earlier, those are some things that you can't help. You can't help if you lose by 1 point. You can't help sometimes if you win by 1 point. Sometimes it's just the way the dice is rolled in that situation. So what we are focused on right now is controlling what we control. And our biggest thing is we want to represent our school, our community, and that logo that's on our helmet the right way. And we're going to go into every single game, and our number one goal is to make you remember that you played Palmetto High School, make you respect the shoe that's on the side of our helmet. We've got some great athletes that are with us. Isaiah Hill is here, who's a both-way player. He's been playing safety for us. He's an unbelievable player. He's been playing since he was in 9th grade. We're changing our offensive structure a little bit this year. He's more of a wing wide receiver for us. We've got Cooper Robinson, who's played running back. Last year, he was everything for our offense, and he's actually the only returner we have on our offense. So new offense, brand new players, it worked out perfect. It was like right there at it, so there's not necessarily bad habits to teach. It's just building from the ground up. Defensively, we've got some really, really strong returners coming back, but we're still young. We are very young in a lot of spots. My tight end is a 9th grader. He's going to be unbelievable. He's really, really strong. You know, we got a new quarterback that's coming in that has not played quarterback since he was in 9th grade. We've got a lot of positions that are very key that are still learning. But like I told them after our first scrimmage, they are no longer a JV player. They are no longer a middle school player. Once that scrimmage is over with, they are officially a varsity football player. So our number one goal right now is to represent our shoe the right way, and that's what we're going to do this season. Thank you.
Okay, good deal. All right, we're going to move on to our next head coach, T.L. coach, Jason Tone.
Thank you all for having me again. This is my 8th year in the county, 6 years, starting my 6th year as the head coach at T.L. Seen us at the library. I've seen us at, in COVID, was it at Tucker's, and then also here. So this is a beautiful facility. It's great to be in District 5, where they care so much about football and athletics in general. A little bit about us. Last year we were 10-2. Our claim to fame is we lost to 2 state champions. We lost to Westside and lost to Dutch Fork. Those were our 2 losses. We've been 10-2 the last 3 years, and we've got to find a way to get over the hump, is what I keep telling our coaches. We graduated 37 seniors, and we replaced it with, we got 32 seniors now, about 175 kids in the program. But there's a lot of new faces. I brought Brandon Cunningham, our quarterback, returning starter. We have 3 returning starters on offense. Brandon's one of them, leads our offense, does a phenomenal job. Unbelievable person of character, not just a football player, but an unbelievable person of character. It's been a pleasure to coach him the last 4 years. We also returned Katie Patterson, the Region Player of the Year. We also returned Riley Lewis, one of our tight ends, but those are the 3 offensive starters we got back. Defensively, we returned 3 starters as well, Cam Strong, Dreek Vance, and Jaden Martin. Those 3 guys are leaders for us, and most of those guys are 2-year starters, with 2 of them being 3-year starters. So we got a lot of new faces, a lot of things to prove. It's a new year. Our region did change. I was thankful. I didn't have to find 5 games like Coach Lane did. Now our region's bigger, so I knew I was going to have Westside. I only had to find 2 games, so I got Wren and Burns. We play Burns tonight. Be a big game. Start out the gate. They're a perennial powerhouse. I think they got a running back that was offered by Georgia, who's a 10th grader. They've got all kinds of athletes on the field, so it'll be a good challenge for us out the gate. You know, I'm excited for what we got going on this year, and hopefully, you know, we can continue to build on the success we had in the past, you know, for the future. But as always, thankful to be here. Our region, we did change. We are now, they split 5A, so we're now in Division II 5A, which is the smaller of the 5A, I guess, by enrollment. So we won't play the Dormans and the Dutch Forks of the world. We'll play, you know, the Gaffneys and the Northwesterns and those guys, I guess. So, you know, so, but it's going to be a challenge. We're excited for it. I don't know about y'all, but there's a lot of sickness running through T.L. Hanna High School. I don't know if there's a lot of sickness running through y'all's high schools, but nobody's going to feel sorry for us, so we just got to line up and keep playing. So good luck to you guys. It's always a pleasure to be here, and as always, go Jackets.
All right, thank you, Coach Tone. We'll keep rolling here down to our last 2, and y'all have got some time, so if you're feeling chatty, you got a live mic here ready to go. So next up is Crescent coach Sheldon Evans.
Oh, Lord, here we go. I appreciate you guys having me back. It's a pleasure to be in front of you. I had all kinds of good stuff to say, and then my watch is going off. It's my wife telling me to do this and telling me to do that. All I can think about is the chocolate cake, and then her fussing at me because I got chocolate cake on my shirt. So anyway, so who knows where this one's going to go. Isaac's probably like, man, don't go on one of your rants, please. But healthy. So we're healthy right now. That's a blessing. since Coach Tone bullied me into a scrimmage this year. Nice, neat meet, Coach Tone bullies me into a scrimmage. But we've lined up against some good ones, Greenwood, Hannah, Seneca, those guys. We kind of held our own. I know Tone had mentioned something about the 10-2. We're trying to get over a hump, too, and that's the 5-5, the 6-5, losing in the first round. So we kind of focus on that a little bit. We're going to take our little mini mites. Isaac's 5'8". Keontae, who was on the interviews, 5'8". But they some tough little boogers, and I love them to death. So we're going to take those guys and try to do the best we can. I got one big one. Hopefully you'll see him a lot. Jake Duncan, you probably hear his name a lot. He's a monster, but ain't too many of them out there. But they're good kids. It's fun. It's probably the most interesting group I've been around since I've been at Crescent. It's a really good group of kids. Their parents have done a really good job of raising them, and I'm proud of them. So I look forward to the opportunity. Please come down. We're, 22 minutes away. If you've never been there, it's a pretty place. Nice stadium. Got a lot of things going on that's going in the right direction. So I'm proud of them. Look forward to tonight. We got to play Saluda. Saluta's coming to our house. I don't know when the last time that's been, but we'll see. If we can survive and we'll stay healthy, we'll be okay. Got a lot of returning seniors coming back, so looking forward to the opportunity. If I can ever do anything for you, appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Just like all these other coaches said, thank you for what you do. It really is neat. When I was here, young buck, let's see, I ain't going to go into all that. That might tell you how old I am. We used to get little shirts for the Anderson County Touchdown Club, so I remember that still to this day, so I appreciate that, and it's good to see that it's still here. Coach Lane, sorry I moved away from you, man. I'm trying to get over the hump. We'll see how the night goes. I may be back over there next meeting with you, big dog, okay? All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
So, Coach Blackston, you got some time on your hands. I know you got a long, detailed list to give to us, but how do I describe? Are you the dean of the Anderson County coaches, the eldest?
Yeah.
Well, you're already up there, so come on, Coach Blackston, BHP.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Anderson Touchdown Club. As I've said year after year after year, what you guys add to these guys' locker, their tool belt, their memory that they get to have from high school football is extremely tremendous. It's hard to believe being an Anderson product. This is my year 29 for me, year 25 at BHP, year 15 as head coach at BHP. I'm truly blessed. My first 4 years coaching high schools at Crescent High School, I was Sheldon's coach, and so I don't know who's getting older, me or Sheldon. Yeah, but it's been a good run. It really has. Really has. My family's doing well. My dad will be back here next week. Everybody's good. At BHP, we got 53 on our varsity. We have 25 seniors, and that's a big number for us. Okay, 23 juniors and 5 sophomores. On our JVs, they played last night at Broome. They won 41-12. I have 27 sophomores and 20 freshmen. We return a lot from last year's football team. Truly blessed with that. I think that's why we're, I try to come up with a slogan each year. Family's our slogan this year. We still feel that the best is yet to come at BHP. We believe in tough people win at BHP. On offense, we got 10 guys that started football games back last year, 10 guys. Return our left tackle, our left guard, our right guard, and our right tackle. Okay, so that's 4 of those guys back. 3 of those guys will be 3-year starters. Okay, every snap we line up, we play with 2 tight ends. And when I went through the playoffs last year, I calculated my percentages, and we were 60% with 3 tight ends. So all 3 of those tight ends are back. Our quarterback's back from last year. 2 of our running backs are back from last year. On defense, we got 3 defensive linemen. We got 8 back on defense, 3 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 3 DBs. We got a new kicker. Not many times do you get somebody from Charlotte moving to Belton, but I'm going to tell you what, we got a show enough kicker to come to town, and I'm very excited about him. Real excited. Here today with me is Ty Parnell, a senior. He's a senior linebacker, number 18. He's a 3-year starter. He's also our long snapper. We have Justin Lathan, J8. Justin's got a neat story to him. He started at running back for BHP, started at linebacker for BHP, started at defensive end. Last year when we played Pendleton in round 2 of the playoffs, both first string running back goes out, second string running back goes out. We're turning our head around, what the heck do we do? And Justin Latham's our starting defensive end. He goes out there, in which I like to use a lot of running backs, keep people fresh, because those legs are a lot different the third quarter and the fourth quarter as they are as the first and second. So I like to use a lot of legs in the tailback. J8 came in and went 37 rushes for about 180 yards, somewhere in there. Still turned around and played defense the rest of the game. So that was extremely blessing right there. Justin Latham. Then we got Marquez Henderson. Marquez needs 300 yards to get the all-time school rushing record. Marquez last week against Mount Tabor, our quarterback had 103-degree fever. And I didn't tell anybody, kept it quiet, come to the first period football class, and I say, hey, Marquez, I need to talk to you. Brought him in my office, and Marquez, you're going to be our quarterback today. He goes, do what? And I said, yeah, you're going to be our quarterback. And I said, Noah's got 103-degree fever, and we've always played Marquez in some Wildcat, get about 4 or 5 plays per game just to change the pace. And he got to play the entire jamboree against Mount Tabor as a quarterback, threw 2 passes, had 2 completions. So that was good. Does a little bit of everything for us. I'll let him drive the bus sometimes, plays defensive back, running back, wide receiver, quarterbacks, athlete, highly recruited player, committed to Clemson. Okay, very proud to be his head coach. I still feel you'll see, if you guys follow me on Twitter, hashtag is best is yet to come. And I believe that about Marquez and all these guys here at BHP football. Again, I appreciate what you guys do for the Anderson Touchdown Club. Miss Nancy, I appreciate your email every week. I try every time to respond. I really do. Okay? And wish everybody the best, except when you play BHP. And when you play BHP, we hope we rip your face off. There you go, Mendel. Mendel's a long-time BHP guy. I said that about 10 years ago, and he keeps handing me, hey, you going to say it again? So my wife's not here. My wife got mad at me. So I hadn't said it. She's not here today, so I guess I'm okay.
All right, good luck to all you coaches this year. I tell you, we've got what I think is the best touchdown club in the state. And as we said at the beginning, this is our 44th year of having the touchdown club. No, it's 44 if you count them up. Started in '81. And anyway, so how many folks here were at the very first meeting? Anybody? Jack King was there. I was there. If you remember, they put we had 5 different chairs that they put a $10 bill under. And if your chair had that $10 bill under there, you got to keep it. And I got one of those $10 bills. It was worth a lot more back then than it is now. But I want to thank all our sponsors that are listed here. We couldn't do all that we do without those sponsors. And I'd also like to thank all the board members for the Touchdown Club. If you're on the board of directors for the Touchdown Club, if you would please stand if you can. I know. Okay. Appreciate all the hard work everybody does. And this year, we've always honored the high school teams, and we've got some great high school teams in Anderson County, especially this year, more so than usual, seems like. But for the first time ever, we get to honor our local college, Anderson University. They've got a football team for the first time ever, and that's kind of special, too, to have a county touchdown club that has a college in it. So y'all be sure to support Anderson University. They've got their first game next Saturday, not tomorrow, the next Saturday. And
September 7th.
What did I say?
September 7th.
Yeah, that's right, September the 7th. I was just seeing if y'all were listening. And next week, let me go over the speakers that we have for the year. I think we've got some great speakers. Our first speaker next Friday will be the Anderson University coach, Bobby Lamb. We think we're very fortunate to have him as our first head coach. He's already started one program, and so he knows how to start a program. And, of course, he was a head coach at Furman for a long time, had a great playing career there as well. Our second speaker is going to be Shap Boyd. He's the coach at Erskine. And Erskine, of course, just started football about 3 years ago, so I thought it'd be real interesting to hear his take after having a program in effect for about 3 years. The speaker after that, I tried to get the athletic director at Clemson because there's so much going on with college athletics these days. Couldn't get him, but he gave me his right-hand man, Kevin White. He's going to be our speaker. The speaker after that will be Pete Yanity. It's been several years since we've had Pete. He's the SBA sports director. Then we've got the Furman coach, Clay Hendricks. Looks like they're going to have another great year at Furman this year. Connor Shaw. It's always hard to get a good Carolina speaker. Seems like it's hard to get somebody that can speak intelligently from there for 15 minutes. But yeah. But anyway, Connor Shaw, I think, is the winningest quarterback ever at Carolina. Isn't that right, Billy? Winningest quarterback ever at Carolina. Craig Bainham is our next speaker after that. A lot of you folks won't remember him unless you're an old-timer. He played at Georgia Tech and played for the Cowboys. He ran a 9.6 100-yard dash, which was highly unusual back in those days. The next week, Steve Englehart, he's the Presbyterian coach. Don't know a whole lot about him, but we hadn't had a PC coach in a while. Thought it'd be good to get him. Mickey Plyler, of course, well known at WCCP. He's going to be our next speaker after that. Kevin Steele is our next speaker. Kevin Steele, I think, was athletic director at Moore School. If you had a trivia question, who's been defensive coordinator at the most schools ever, it'd probably be Kevin Steele. I mean, he's been around a lot of places. I think he was head coach at Baylor for a while too, but he's retired now, living down in Edisto Island. Scott Early, our own Scott Early. Is Scott here today? Scott's not here today, but he's the executive director of the South Carolina Athletic Coaches Association. I thought it'd be good to hear him. Our last speaker, sometimes when we have a team that wins a national championship that's not in an area other than football, we get them sometimes. We've had a couple of baseball coaches that won national championships. This year I'm working on getting a winner of a basketball national championship, women's, Dawn Staley. I don't know for sure if we're going to be able to get her or not. She was at the Olympics, and was supposed to hear something back from her as soon as she got back from the Olympics. Still hadn't heard from her yet, but she's, I think, a strong possibility for the last meeting. So anyway, it looks like a good lineup there. Appreciate everybody being here. If you know anybody else that ought to be in the Touchdown Club, ought to be a member of the Touchdown Club, get them here next week. We want to keep our club well attended, and we want a lot more members if we can get them. Again, thanks to all our sponsors. I say we couldn't do what we do without them. And everybody have a great weekend.
This is 43 years. We started in 81, so yeah, 43rd year starts today.
Wow, and are you expecting bigger crowds this year?
So the first meeting's always kind of up in the air. We're trying to, we judge for 100 because that's just kind of a good number for us, but we don't have any players of the week this week. No games have been played, so there's no parents, there's no siblings. So we don't know what to expect today, but we've got a live on-air show going on WCCP, and we think that broadcasting maybe might bring in a few more folks for us.
People who don't know anything about the Touchdown Club, tell them what the purpose of the club is and what y'all do.
Okay, and I may go back in history a little bit because over the years it's kind of changed. It used to be a bunch of businessmen enjoying lunch on a Friday, talking football, and then you talk to the players of the week in the middle between jokes and all that kind of stuff. We've now kind of transferred to where we're like a player-focused. We're about the kids. Our membership maybe is not near what it was back in those days, but the attendance is, if not better, because we focus on the kids. So we recognize all 8 high schools in Anderson County. We have Players of the Week for various awards. We have started a couple years ago. Ralph Hayes came in, and the Toyota dealership's putting the FCA award. So each school, each coach gets to pick one player from his school for an FCA award, which is kind of a big deal. We have a community award where we're recognizing state champions and other elite athletes from different sports that don't get that recognition. We do the homecoming queens when that's all set, usually late October. Instead of the only time being celebrated on the field that night, we're bringing them and their parents in here, and all 8 schools are recognized for that. Last year we had 2 band state champions. We recognized them. So that's kind of what we've become, is promoting these kids. Big social media following on Facebook primarily, but it's fun. It's a lot going on. Anderson is very talented.
And what kind of feedback have you gotten from the players, coaches, and families from these awards?
And I'll specifically today. So these coaches, it's game 1, there's week 0, but it's their first game. They've got all this going on, and we hooked them into a 3-hour radio show where they're kind of like a media day. So the coach and at least 1 player, maybe 2, are getting interviewed over there. We thought these coaches would be like, are you kidding me? Like, my kids are missing hours. And they have been like, thank you so much for doing this. Like, these kids never experienced that. They're never hooked up to a microphone on a radio show with a pretty significant following that CCP has around here. But, Russell Blackson, I think he's the dean of coaches now at BHP, and I always kind of measure it by him because he doesn't like a lot of pomp and circumstance around stuff. And I'm like, how are we doing? He's like, man, we appreciate y'all so much. Like, recognizing these kids, it makes everybody want to get to that level, to come to these meetings, to be invited and to be recognized. So I think it's working. I think it's good.
And over the years, I've seen a lot of the families, they seem to be pretty excited about being here.
They do. We cover the players' meal and 1 guest, and sometimes it's tough during lunch. People are working, but the families love coming and taking pictures, and they'll stay 30 minutes after the meeting, sitting with the banner, getting pictures taken. So it's a big hit. We try to make a big deal about it for them.
And y'all bring in a lot of guest speakers. You said you got a list for this year.
All right, so last year I failed. I did not have my list, but I'll run through who we've got. So today's going to be our coaches. All 8 coaches give us an idea of what we're looking at for them. Next week, Bobby Lamb. This is AU's introductory season. We've been waiting years for this to come, and he's going to be our next speaker out of the gate. Shat Boyd, the Erskine coach. I like bringing in some of these local schools that these kids might need to be seen by them, if they want to keep playing. Kevin White's the Clemson Deputy Director for Athletics. Pete Yanity, Channel 7 Sports, is going to be there. Clay Hendricks from Furman. Connor Shaw, great quarterback for South Carolina. I'm a Georgia fan. He gave us fits the whole time he was there. Craig Bainham, we kind of bring back 1 guy from Blast from the Past. He played at Georgia Tech, but played for the Cowboys. Was very successful in the, 70s maybe or so. So he'll be here. Steve Englehart, the new PC coach. Mickey Plyler is coming from WCCP. Kevin Steele, who has been around. I think he's worked for Saban, Auburn. He's been all over the place. He's kind of retired in Edisto now, and Nancy and some of our members know him down there. So he's a really good speaker for us to pull on. That's November 1st. Scott Early, who used to coach for Westside, he's now the executive director of the South Carolina Association of Coaches, I think that's what. And then the annual meeting, we've got an in. I don't know that this is going to happen, but we're putting in for Dawn Staley. If that happens, then we might need more room in this place, but that's going to be November 15th. So we'll see if we can pull. Right now, we're tentatively saying we think we can get her, but that would be huge for us to pull that as a year-end speaker. So.
And I know y'all encourage individuals and businesses. How can people be a part of the supporting Touchdown Club?
So we have a lot of large sponsors that help cover an award, and they're covering all the players' meals and their friends. But if you just want to come and be a member of our club, it's $60, and that gets you in the door, part of our Pick'em contest, which has great prizes. You can go all the way up to a corporate member, $550. I do the $550 level so I can have friends in here and get my wife and stuff in, and they don't have to pay any extra fees. And then our meals this year, we got Sundays is catering it. They're directly across the street. If you hadn't been there on a Sunday, it is packed. They have some of the best fried chicken, and today is fried chicken on the menu, but there's $15. We totally do it at cost, so we don't make any money off the meals because we know it's getting kind of expensive at $15. But yeah, so our Facebook, Anderson Area Touchdown Club, if you go on there, there's all kind of contact information. I get updates daily on it. We have about 4 of us that are admins on it. So if you have any questions, if you hit it on our Facebook page. You'll get a reply pretty quickly.